From the Millersville University Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kyle Elliott here with the short-term forecast and video discussion issued on Monday, July 22nd. Well, the weather's going to be quite active and unsettled through the middle of the week. Multiple disturbances are going to be tracking northeastward through the mid-Atlantic states, and those will trigger several rounds of scattered showers and heavy drenching thunderstorms. So without further ado, let me start with our daily climatology. I'm expecting a high this afternoon of 84 degrees at Millersville, and that's quite close to our normal high of 87. Today's record high was 103, set in 2011. This morning's low of 73 was about 9 degrees above our normal low of 64, and the record low for today is 50, set in 1944. As we take a look at the sky cam from the John Wright restaurant looking east across the Susquehanna River into Lancaster County, well, you don't see any sunshine out there, and in fact, skies are totally cloudy, and some of those clouds are starting to get rather dark and low, and that is no surprise because, as you can see on the satellite imagery, well, clouds are pretty much covering up the entire region. And you'll also notice some of these brighter whites here. Well, those are associated with some showers and heavier thunderstorms already exploding across Maryland and parts of south central PA. In fact, areas near Baltimore and in western New York and Adams County are really under the gun right now. They're getting hit with some heavier downpours. Now, fortunately, due to that cloud cover and because the winds are so light at the surface and in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, severe weather really isn't going to be a concern with these storms. The only real threat that we're going to have to be dealing with over the next 24 hours is localized flash flooding of low-lying urban and poor drainage areas. These storms just aren't going to be moving very quickly due to those lack of winds in the atmosphere right now. So these storms are going to sit over certain locations for quite some time. So with dew points in the upper 60s to low 70s, well, there's plenty of moisture for these storms to tap into. So you could see rainfall rates as high as 1 to 2 inches per hour in the hardest hit locations. Now, rainfall amounts are probably going to average only about 1/2 to 1 inch across the region, maybe even perhaps less than that. But these areas that get hit repeatedly by heavier downpours and drenching storms could pick up as much as 3 to 4 inches of rain. So it's in those areas where that localized flooding is going to be the biggest deal and the biggest concern. If you look at the European model for 8 p.m. this evening, well, it doesn't look that foreboding. You do see some green shades over southern PA, but you really have to look at the higher resolution models such as the HRRR and the 3-kilometer NAM to really see these embedded heavier showers and drenching thunderstorms. So it's in locations that get hit by these darker red and orange cells on the radar, really indicative of those drenching thunderstorms, where you're going to see those higher rainfall amounts. Now, it's obviously impossible to pinpoint which neighborhoods or counties are going to see some of these higher rainfall totals, but it looks like some of the higher resolution guidance like the NAM and the HRRR are kind of keying in on central and northern Pennsylvania as being the sweet spot for these widespread higher totals of 1 to 2 and again locally as much as 3 to 4 inches of rain. But 6-hour flash flood guidance across the region right now is on the order of 2 to 6 inches. In fact, most parts of central and northern PA, the flash flood guidance is between 4 and 6 inches. So even in those areas, I don't expect stream and river flooding just because these storms are going to be very isolated and highly localized. So you're not going to have 3 to 6 inches of rain over a large area. You might see 3 or 4 inches in a few neighborhoods, but again, by and large, most areas are going to average 1/2 to 1 inch of rain or less, especially here across northern Maryland, southeastern PA, and the lower Susquehanna Valley. It really looks like areas north and west of I-81, and especially areas along I-80 are going to be the hardest hit by these drenching storms this afternoon through tonight. So as we take a look at the European model then for 2 p.m. tomorrow, well, that disturbance is going to move off the mid-Atlantic and southern New England coastline. And in the wake of that, well, we're actually going to be caught between disturbances for most of the day tomorrow. So I would expect a mix of clouds and sun and only an isolated shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon and evening. I don't think coverage is going to be anywhere nearly as widespread as what we see today. And in fact, most, if not all of the day could be dry. But there is going to be a second impulse that's going to track northeastward over a similar area from tomorrow night into Wednesday. So it's that time period that looks like we'll see more widespread scattered showers and storms again. But perhaps that's already to our east by midday Wednesday, and much of Wednesday afternoon and evening also turns out dry prior to the arrival of this cold front on Thursday. So we'll just have to wait and see how things play out, but it definitely looks like this afternoon through tonight and then again tomorrow night into Wednesday morning are going to be the most active periods. So again, just be alert for ponding and standing water on roadways, and if you encounter a flooded roadway, always remember to turn around and seek an alternate route. So as we take a look at the short-term Campus Weather Service forecast, mostly cloudy, warm and muggy tonight with showers and heavy drenching T-storms, low 70. Warm and steamy on Tuesday with clouds, some sun, perhaps an isolated shower or storm in the afternoon, high 88. And then mostly cloudy and humid on Wednesday with scattered showers and thunderstorms, high 86. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the short-term forecast. Tune back in next Monday for the latest edition. Until then, make sure you have an umbrella handy at all times through the middle of the week, and just be alert for those heavier downpours, delays on the roadways, and if you do encounter one, make sure to reduce speed out there, because if you're traveling at highway speeds, the risk of hydroplaning is greatly increased. And again, just be alert for some standing water on roadways, and if you encounter that, turn around and seek an alternate route. It's always the best and safest option.